What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Over the past few months, I have definitely gone to a bunch of more parks that I have had on my bucket list throughout the years, and one of those parks that I got to recently experience was Dorney Park. Last summer I got to go here for the very first time, and I instantly fell in love. The nostalgic charm, mixed with their very unique B&Ms, and Steel Force of course, and their other supporting rides, really makes a great park. Which is why I was very excited to hear that they may be adding something new in 2024. Now, a little bit of context in this video. Recently, we have gotten a hold of some information about a possible new project, so I say we get right into it, look at what we know, and speculate what Dorney Park's next big attraction could be. This is Cedar Flags, and today we are going to ask, what is coming to Dorney Park in 2024? So, what do we know? So, the reason that we are all talking about this story right now is from a news post from the South Hall Township website in Pennsylvania, where Dorney Park is located within. So every time that Dorney Park wants to add something, they gotta go through the township first. So, this is exactly what they did. But this time, we could see everything publicly. On the South Hall Township website, there has been a recent post proposing a meeting talking about Dorney Park adding a brand new attraction for 2024. They are going to have a meeting with the local government to talk about plans for a new 164-foot attraction. It is going to be located on the plot of the old Stinger, Vekoma, Boomerang, and Vertigo model, which was located near Possessed and Steel Force. This is currently all we know, and I currently have the post on the website on the screen right now, so you could look at it, and I will leave a link in the description below. But this is all we currently know, but without a doubt, this is some major stuff. Dorney Park is a smaller Cedar Fair park, so it is always a little more exciting to see something major come out of that. If this was just some family flat ride or something like that, I could definitely digress. But there is a reason that they are going to be talking to the local government. Now, before I go any further, a very important part, all they said is that they are going to build a 160-foot tall attraction. So what could that be? That could be anything. That could be a flat ride, that could be a roller coaster, and that could be anything in between. Now, it is worthy to mention that back in 2019-2020, there was a leaked, quote-unquote leaked blueprint for a Gravity Group shuttle coaster. So, maybe this was a scrap project, but we can almost confirm that this is not going to be that Gravity Group coaster, and that these plans were ultimately shelved. The only reason I say that is because it would be really hard to imagine a Gravity Group roller coaster in a smaller plot of land that goes over 160 feet in height. Now, they will have this meeting in the next month to see if this is going to happen, and I'm sure if this is coming in 2024, which they said it was, that this is going to be announced pretty shortly in the next few months. But there is still time to speculate, so in the next half of the video, let's talk about what I could see coming to the park. So before I get into this part of the video, I just want to look at the plot of land that the ride is sitting on. It is on a much smaller plot of land than imagined, so nothing too big is going to be here. At the same time, this is also a much smaller Cedar Fair park, so though it is Cedar Fair, this park definitely does not get the same attention that other parks like Kings Island, Carowinds, and Cedar Point get. I have a few possibilities here. Let me start off with some flat rides that I could see. Cedar Fair has built a Funtime Starflyer at Valley Fair, so why not they do another one? I could definitely see a 160-170 foot version of the Funtime Starflyer in this property. Now, this would not be a new roller coaster, but it would be a very nice addition. These Starflyer rides are very fun, and we know that Cedar Fair loves to add these types of rides. And Dorney Park is one of the last Cedar Fair parks to not have one of these. Now, it seems all great so far, but when I was looking at the plot of land that it sits on, it is definitely not an ideal plot of land for a ride like this. Now, if you don't know, Dorney Park sits on a hill, and this is on one of the lower parts of the hill, so I feel like if they were to build a Starflyer, it would be on the higher half of the park elevation-wise. The next attraction I could see is definitely a very unique one. It is a Mondial Avalanche. Now, if you don't know what this is, there is only one currently under construction right now and no existing models. This is what is coming to Canada's Wonderland next year in the form of Tundra Twister. And let me say, this looks like an absolutely demented flat ride. It just looks absolutely insane, and I feel like in this plot of land, it would fit it very well. They have a decent collection of flat rides, but at the same time, if they want to grow it, they definitely should in the near future. and with a few roller coasters by this area, I think a nice flat ride like this, especially one that goes upside down and has multiple dimensions, it would be a very good fit here. The final flat ride I want to talk about is the Fun Time Vomitron. Now, very similar to the last two, this is a very tall flat ride, and it would fit in a plot of land similar to this. This is definitely a plot of land that would be more long than wide, which fits the bill of this plot of land. Some examples of these are the ones at Six Flags parks, most notably Adirondack Outlaw at Six Flags Great Escape. If you can't tell, these are lower capacity rides, so they are definitely better with the smaller parks, and I feel like a park like Dorney definitely fits that build. Cedar Fair has worked with Fun Time as well, and so I do think that a Vomitron isn't out of the equation. Now, let's get into the roller coasters. The first one I want to look at is a Gerstlauer Eurofighter. Right off the bat, I do have a little bit of a problem with this one. There definitely may be a little bit of an oversaturation of Gerstlauer Eurofighters in the area. Within a few hour drive, you have Tantrum at Darien Lake, you have TMNT Shellraiser at Nickelodeon Universe, and you have Hydrus at Casino Pier. But if they make this slightly different than all the other ones, maybe give it a little bit of a launch, maybe make it an Infinity, something smaller like Monster or Fury, it would be a very unique fit to Dorney Park, and it would definitely make Dorney Park one of the better inversion parks out there. Once again, as long as they make this unique, as Cedar Fair has a great relationship with Gerstlauer, I think that this could go pretty well. Up next, we have an RMC Raptor. They originally advertised this ride model to be all over the place at smaller parks. Now, a little bit of a problem with this is that there hasn't been a single Raptor that has gone over the height of 130 feet, so they would have to do a lot of improvising. Plus, this is a smaller plot of land, so this would be a very compact ride as well. Honestly, out of all of these, this is definitely the least possible, but the fact that Cedar Fair has worked with RMC in the past, I do think that this is a little bit of a possibility at least. But finally, I want to get into the one that I believe could be the most likely out of all the coasters. Now, people are saying this project would have a height of around 164 feet, so I instantly thought of some roller coasters that are both compact and are at a height of around 160 feet. And one of the ones that came up to my mind was the Vekoma Super Boomerang. This is a new model that they have been advertising, and there is one coming to China, but there have been none other projects that have been proposed. Though, it is exactly 164 feet, and it is compact. So could this be the new site of a Vekoma Super Boomerang? Honestly, out of all of these, this would definitely be the most exciting. Cedar Fair has worked with Vekoma in the past, and if they continue to work with modern Vekoma, I think that would be incredible. I would love to see something like a tilt coaster here, but with that tiny plot of land, I don't think that's entirely possible, but a Super Boomerang would honestly be just as exciting, especially since that plot of land used to hold a Vekoma Boomerang. But anyways, what do you think is going to be in this plot of land? One of the first things I thought of was a drop tower, and then I realized they already have two separate drop towers, so I definitely pushed that one aside. Anyways, until next time, this is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.